Hello everybody, sorry for the coughing at first. Welcome back to Shay's Hobby Dog Bang. This is Wednesday. It is June the 20th, 2018 at 6:27 p.m. right now. Hubby's gone to church. I didn't feel like going. Elizabeth's at work. She didn't work first part of the day, but she didn't work on her house either. She stayed home in the bed resting. She's hurting and sore from past 2 or 3 days working on her house, and because she had to go to work this evening, so she left this evening and went to work. I had Gracie earlier today while they worked. Well, now they're going to church. The reason I didn't feel like going tonight, I had a rough night last night, and it's the first rough night that I've had in a while. I was hurting really bad. My left side was sore and hurting real bad, so I couldn't really get fixed on it, and it's the side that I rest on the best, so I kept having to turn to the next side. But the way I lay propped up on my pillows and everything, when I turn on that side, that kind of gets me more up into the middle of the bed, and for some reason I'm just not as comfortable on that side and comfortable like that facing that way. For some reason I feel most comfortable when I'm laying on the edge of the bed facing the outside of the bed. Why that is, I don't know, but I could not get rested last night, and I kept having to turn and toss. Sorry, trying to clear my throat. So finally, I got up, went to the bathroom. Sorry, y'all. And so when I came back to the bed, I moved my pillows from the head of the bed to the foot of the bed, and I turned myself around so that I could, since my left side was the sorest and hurting the most, I needed to lay on my right side, but I needed to be where I could face the outside edge of the bed and be right there close to the edge, not way up over into the middle of the bed. I know it sounds weird and funny, but I rest better like that. I don't know why. So I turned my pillows to the foot, and I just sat down and then laid down right there, and I was right there on the edge of the bed, and I was facing the outside, and I went to sleep. I can't remember what time that was that I went to the bathroom and turned around like that. But I went to sleep, and I slept good the rest of the night then for that. After that, they had to wake me up. Matter of fact, this morning at 10 o'clock by calling me. Of course, you know, Elizabeth was still in bed. Albert had done gotten up way earlier and went to work, and he even said, "I've been in and out of the house 2 or 3 times. Have you seen me or heard me?" And I said, "No." I was out of it then, you know. But him and Katie at 10 o'clock called me to wake me up and get me up and say they were bringing Gracie over. And so I had to get up and go into the bathroom and start getting awake and everything. But I was slow thereafter. So today I've been really so slow and hurting, stiff, sore, can't hardly move. So I've been slow, moving slow. And this morning when I first got up with Gracie and we ate breakfast and all, I sat on my heating pad for a little while in my chair. So I've not really done a whole lot today. Okay, but this video is question of the week again. So Sandra Hazen has asked a couple more questions, and so I'm doing them all separate in separate videos like this. So her next question she asked me was, how did I pick my girls' names? Elizabeth and Katie. At least that's what she said, the girls' names, and I'm assuming that's what she means, my girls Elizabeth and Katie. I hope I got that right. Now that I think about it, Sandra, let me know in the comments below if I was right or wrong. But anyway, yes, I've answered these questions before, and they were part of my Shays Nays storytelling set on Saturday Shays Nays storytelling is what I called it. But I love telling these over, and I have newer people now, subscribers. By the way, I am getting more and more subscribers. I'm almost at 400 subscribers. And I'm tickled to death about that. And I thank every one of my new subbies that has been subbing to me lately. I hope y'all will enjoy all of my videos. So I have new subbies that needs to hear my stories, okay? So I do not mind telling them over. So don't feel bad about asking a question that I've done answered like that, okay? Alright, just keep them coming. I'm loving this. So anyway, okay, the way I chose my oldest daughter, Elizabeth, who still lives here right now. She just bought a house. They're working on her house, and then she's going to move in it, and I get to have her room as a craft room. But she's never been married, and she's don't have any kids, and she's don't have a boyfriend. She's had a few, but she's not interested. She's kind of like on the kicky side when it comes to boyfriends, and they have to be a certain way, or it's, you know, not going. So anyway, okay, to answering the question. Her name is Elizabeth Annette Spillmon. And the way I picked her name is Elizabeth Annette was actually supposed to be my name when I was born. I found this out when I was probably 7 years old, okay? My mama had chose the name. She wanted to name me Elizabeth Annette. But my name is Sherry Ann, okay? Nickname Shay. So when I found out, I don't remember exactly how I found out, who told me, why they told me that my name was supposed to be Elizabeth Annette, but they did, or that Mama had wanted to name me Elizabeth Annette. But they did, they told me, somehow I found out. But the reason she didn't name me that and had changed it to Sherry Ann was that my dad was born tongue-tied. For those of you that don't know what that is, the tip of his tongue was tied to the little string down inside, right here, okay? So the tip of his tongue is tied, attached, connected to that down there. So when you stick your tongue out and you have that point, my dad didn't have that, because that point was down inside and stayed down in his mouth as he stuck his tongue out. So when he stuck his tongue out, it looked like this. I can't do it now because I ain't got teeth. I can't do it no more. Still ain't the best. Used to, I could hide my tongue behind my teeth and hold it there and get my tongue out. But what it is, it looks straight across. It don't have a point on it. That's how my dad's tongue was. He was born that way. Later in years, though, he got it clipped and undone. But he claimed that because his tongue was tied, that he could not say Elizabeth. So he told Mama he didn't want her to name me that because of that fact. So Mama changed it. Okay? When they was trying to come up with another name for me, now this is how I was named Sherry Ann, is, I guess because Mama couldn't name me that. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't really know. But maybe she told Daddy to come up with a name for me. And maybe he couldn't. And his daddy, my Pawpaw Spikes, was around. This is what I remember being told. I may have it wrong. Mama, Charlotte, Becky, when y'all watch this, if y'all know anything different, let me know, please. Okay. So my Pawpaw Spikes ended up saying, well, I don't care what y'all name her as long as Ann is in it. Let Ann be part of it, the first name, the middle name, whatever, you know. So I guess he liked Ann for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, so then once he said that, that triggered it in my daddy's mind that he has a first cousin named Sherry Ann. So he says, okay, well, we'll just name her Sherry Ann then and name her after my cousin. So that's what they named me. So when I was 7 years old and I found out that, I was so upset. And I said, well, I like Elizabeth Annette better than Sherry Ann. I wished I would have went ahead and named me that. And I was so mad at my daddy. And I'd fuss at him. I was 7 years old now, you know, and I'd fuss with my daddy. And I'd tell him, I'd say, you can say Elizabeth. Say it for me. Come on, say it. And I kept on bugging him till he said Elizabeth. And back then his tongue was still tied. He said the word Elizabeth. And it sounded fine to me. It was plain as all get out. I was so upset with him. So anyway, I said, alright, then, when I grow up and get married and I have a little girl, I'm going to name her Elizabeth Annette. Boo-boo. So guess what? That's what I done. And I'm just lucky my husband went along with me on it. Or I wouldn't have been able to do that. But I stuck to it. Got married at 18. Had my young'un just before I turned 19. No, just before I turned 20. Because I turned 19 right after I got married. Got pregnant. Had her in August 1st. And I turned 20 September 21st. So, but it still hadn't changed. I still wanted my daughter to be named Elizabeth Annette. And like I said, my husband agreed. He liked it. He was okay with it. So, you know, I told him that story. He was okay with it. So, we named her Elizabeth Annette. So that's how she got her name. Okay, my baby girl, Katie, her name is Katie Ruth. I don't really remember too much about the way, not, you know, details like I do with Elizabeth. We named her. But I remember we was in our living room floor, me and Albert, and we were talking about it and trying to come up with a name for her. And, excuse me, we knew it was a girl at this point, and so we were coming up with girl names. And we kept both calling off names that we both liked. Well, I would tell him if I liked the names he called off or not, and he would tell me if he liked the names I called off or not. And so we finally came up and agreed that we both liked the name Katie. So then he kept thinking, and somehow I guess he just, because we were just thinking about names, it popped in his mind Ruth, and he liked Ruth. So he said, well, what do you think about Katie Ruth? That sounds cute together. So we both agreed. I liked Katie Ruth, he did. So that's how we picked her name, you know. So she got Katie Ruth that way. But afterwards, when we told his mama the name we chose, she told us that actually in our family tree, way down the line in the past, somewhere or another, and I don't remember exactly who or what it is, great some grandma, and then another one is great aunt, so one of them is a Katie and one is a Ruth. So we had actually named her after, you know, some ancestors in our past, and that tickled Albert to death, and tickled me too, you know, so. But that's how Katie got her name. Okay, so there you go. That's the answer to that. Sandra, hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed the question and the answer. And if anybody else has any more questions, leave them for me in the comments below, and I will add them to my list, and we'll do this question of the week. If I can't really actually do it, well, I'm still gonna call it question of the week. I ain't gonna say question of the day because I know I definitely ain't gonna get it done every day, but I'd love to do it once a week, so I'm gonna call it question of the week. But it may not happen exactly once a week or on the same day every week or whatever. I'll just do the best I can when I can. And two, it depends on how many questions I get coming in and stuff like that, but I'm going to call it question of the week. So, put your questions in and let me answer them. I like doing this, okay? Okay, I'm out of here until next time. I'm going to toodaloo.